St. Mary's Children's Home was established in 1902 and currently accommodates over 40 children. Some children come from surrounding informal settlements and are brought to the home for various reasons, including abuse, neglect, or being orphaned.
There's so many different kind of abuses that they've been exposed to. For instance, physical, sexual, emotional abuse. Abuse caused by trauma, by alcoholism, by drug abuse.
The director of the home says this period has been exceptionally difficult for them. Many of the children are living with illnesses that make them vulnerable to COVID-19. This resulted in the closure of their doors to more children and volunteers.
How do you do fundraising initiatives? There's a lot of means that you can do. Corporate fundraising, bequests, you can do events, but events needs people. With people coming in and doing things for them and hugging them, which they now cannot do, that was the things that made the difference for the children, that made them feel like we're normal. We like other children and people love us. They're not going to blame us for the things that our parents have done.
Hamsa says the foster care system and adoption process has been affected. Months away from the children meant that prospective parents missed out on important milestones. She adds that although online vetting could be an option, there are also safety concerns.
Often it is really your pedophiles and whatever that comes to a home to ask to do that. So we need to be so careful. So we need to screen the people. People need to be introduced to the children gradually.
During the harder lockdown, caretakers were required to stay in the homes. Rebecca Sitole says shifting from half-day to round-the-clock shifts was emotionally and physically demanding.
Having the kids 24 hours is not easy. Even the kids also, they get irritated. We irritate each other. But as a child and youth care worker, or like as a parent also, we play an important role to give kids educational and support the kids.
The National Adoption Coalition of South Africa says during the harder lockdown, there was an increase in the number of abandoned children. On a positive note, however, NACSA also saw an increased interest from families looking to adopt.
We also thought that possibly we would, that our numbers of adoptive parent inquiries would decrease, but in fact it was quite the opposite. We had a lot of interest in people phoning in wanting to adopt. Due to the economic situation out there, young moms were obviously struggling, might have had part-time jobs before, and then as waitresses or working in places where they were no longer going to be employed because things were not operating. So they suddenly found themselves without income. Some of them might have got ill at the same time. Often as well, they might have been in a situation where they were now stuck in a situation with the boyfriend or the father of the baby, and things became very difficult.
Under the current lockdown restrictions, Wilson says the adoption process is almost back to normal and matters are heard in court. Homes are appealing for any assistance ranging from donations in kind to simple letters and sentimental gifts that will assure children that someone cares. Nasipho Mncube, SABC News, Johannesburg.